Good morning, everyone. I hope you are excited as I am this morning. Rian has asked me to share a word out of Titus that is struggling with, and so on as well. And I'm sure that some of you are struggling with the same things. Let me ask you this: by showing of hands, how many of you does not have a problem with self-discipline? Who does not have a problem with self-discipline? Thank you for those who raised your hands. The other ones that did not raise, the other people that are trying to connect. After the service, we will pray for you for a spirit of deception and lying. Okay. That being said, let's go to Titus 2, verse 6. This is out of the NIV, this portion, and it says the following: Similarly, encourage the young men to be self-controlled. Encourage the young men to be self-controlled. And then 2 verse, it says in Titus 2 verse 8, in all things, showing yourself to be a pattern of good works, in doctrine, showing integrity, reverence, incorruptibility, sound speech that cannot be condemned. The one who is an opponent may be ashamed, having not an evil word to say of you. I want to focus our attention on two words. The one word is self-control, and the other word is patterns. Self-control and patterns. Those are the two words out of that passage that I want us to focus on. When I listen to this piece, I sometimes feel, you feel inadequate. You feel you don't have the self-control that you should have. You have tried and tried to do the right things over and over, and you failed over and over. And I was wondering about that, and I must also say that I feel that people have more than enough reason to make me feel ashamed sometimes, and that is something that came out of that passage that I feel that I'm not living up to. Now, what is the solutions, or what is the solution? I think I might have stumbled upon a few. I can call it maybe life hacks that changed my life significantly, and I'd like to share them with you. My aim this morning is to leave you with a message that will radically change your life for the better. You know of Newton's law of gravity. It says a body that is in motion will stay in motion until such time a force attracts or pushes it into a direction, and it will stay on that course until another force is applied to it. And humans are the same in a certain sense. We we tend to stay on a certain course and don't change until something happens, until you get a hiding, or until your phone is taken away, or until you know what I'm getting at. We tend to stay on a course of least resistance. Unfortunately, some of us are on a course to hell. Some of us are on a course to collision course to divorce. Some of us are on a course to bankruptcy, and so on and so on. And you know that a small adjustment today can change the direction in which you travel, and can change the outcome of your destination. Not only the destination of where you will end up in the life hereafter, but in the life you will end up, or in the place you will end up in this life. And I want to help you this morning to make that change that will make a massive difference to help you live a fruitful and godly life. The question is, can I do it? And I believe I can do it. So, as the saying goes, buckle your seatbelts, Dorothy, because Kansas is going bye-bye. Let me ask you this. What is the one thing that you can do tomorrow that will radically change your life? What is the one single thing you can do tomorrow that will radically change your life? I want you to think about that just for 1 second. Is there one thing that you can do that will radically change your life? I bet there is. But that thing might be a small thing. It might be a small thing like just making a call to someone, asking him for forgiveness, or making a call, or going to SARS, sorting out your tax problems, or calling the lawyers, sorting out a problem. It might be a small thing that you really can do tomorrow, and it can drastically change your life. But for some other reason, we just procrastinate and don't do that thing, and sometimes we wonder why. There are certain things that we can learn from the people of this world. Sir Richard Branson always says, "Screw it, just do it." And maybe you should just do it, that thing that you know you should do. But what I actually want to speak about are those two words, self-discipline and patterns. Another word for patterns is habits. Now, why are habits and New Year's resolutions and stuff like that so difficult to keep? We, for instance, I know that I joined the gym, and I gymmed 5 times a week the first week, then 4 times the next week, then once a week, then once a month, and for the next 4 years I paid that bloody, was that a bad word? I paid that that contract. I never went to gym again in that time. Now, what happened there? What happens to these New Year's resolutions? I think the big problem is that we make these resolutions and these things that we want to do. We want what I've learned in the last few months is to try habits that takes maybe for instance, I've tried a habit. Someone says, if it will take you less than 2 minutes, just do it. Whatever. Sometimes there's an important thing that will take you just 2 minutes, and you won't do it, and you will worry about that thing for an entire day, and you could have done it. It would have taken you 2 minutes. If it takes you 2 minutes, just do it. If you have to send someone a WhatsApp, and Rian will like it when I say that, just do that. If you have to backwash this, just do it. It takes 2 minutes. That's the one thing I've learned. The other thing I came across was of this lady. She's got a whole not a ministry, but it's a worldly 5 seconds. That's not the 5-second rule. She says the 5-second rule is if you are watching television, or you're lying on the bed, or you're doing nothing, and you have to do something, and you know you have to do something, go and say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, and then you just get up and do it. And I must say, I've employed that life hack, and I must say it helps for me, and I encourage you to try that. The most significant thing I realized is to have a daily habit. And there's a guy called Greg Rochelle. I'll leave his note on YouTube, and he says he employs one small habit a year, one very, very small habit. He says he just started by flossing. He says he hates flossing, but he just started by flossing. Every morning he flosses, and he says because of that he feels self-discipline, and that takes him into motion. Now what I do these days, I don't do the gym thing, but what I can do is I can take 4 minutes and do leg exercises for 4 minutes, and that's it. Not even 5 minutes. 5 minutes sounds a bit too heavy. So I take 4 minutes, I do leg exercises, and I jump in the shower and go about my day. And because of that 4 minutes of exercise, I feel that I've got self-control. That rush of dopamine goes through my system. That feel-good hormone goes through my system, and I get a kick, and I feel I've made a good start to the day, and that makes a massive difference in one's life. So one day I do legs, one day I do arms and core, and that's what I do. And the other thing Greg Rochelle says is make it visible. Now I've taken my weights and I've put it right next to my bed. I almost stumble over it when I get out of bed. So I have to see it every day. And it makes a massive difference. If you can get started, if you can do that one simple thing every day, that thing can have a massive impact on your life. For you, you might have a problem with your marriage, and you'll have to think tactfully about this. What is that thing that I can do, maybe daily, that can change my marriage forever? Maybe it's just making a cup of coffee every morning. My wife brings me breakfast in bed every morning of my life, and I can tell you that makes a massive difference in our marriage. I won't tell you what I do to spice up our marriage, but I do my part as well. So, if for instance you have a weight problem, is it, and you've failed and failed and failed again, what is that one thing that you can do, maybe once a week, that will put you on a path of recovery? Maybe skip 1 meal a week, or 2 meals a week. Skip 2 meals a week and see where it goes. If 2 meals is too much, if 1 meal is too much, eat half a portion of 1 meal every week. Before you know it, you will skip 2 meals a week. Before you know it, this will compound into you doing some exercise. Because you've started on a path, because that body, excuse the pun, but that body that Newton says is not in motion, gets into motion, that compound effect could be massive. In a year's time, you might not know yourself. I want to finish, and I want to say this. Some of us are waiting for the government to do something to change our lives. Government's not going to do it. If you're waiting for government to do something, you're going to wait forever. Probably. If you are waiting for your spouse to change, he or she won't change. You'll have to be the one who changes. And if you're waiting for your spouse to do something or stop doing something, good luck with that. It's not going to happen. You'll have to make the small and small but significant changes. If you are waiting for the lotto numbers to align with yours, good luck with that. You are more likely to be more likely that lightning strikes you 10 times a day on 10 different places. It's just impossible. You don't wait for the lotto numbers. Some of us are just waiting for something. We don't even know what we're waiting for. We're just waiting, and you are totally oblivious, and life's passing you by. Some of us are is having this broken record in our heads. The time is not right. Now, I've tried that thing. Time is never right. Everything is never exactly aligned the way you want it to be, to act. Sometimes you'll just have to act. Some of us are saying it's too late. Now, to you I want to say, it's never too late to do something big. It's never too late to do something huge. Why am I saying all this? Why are we discussing this? It's because we all want to end up in a certain place. We become the sum of the things we continually do or habitually do. We become that. If you habitually sleep late, you're a late sleeper. If you habitually don't want to work, you become workless. So we become what we habitually do, and you are what you habitually do. And what I want to ask you is to start changing your habits. Small, seemingly insignificant changes. Do those things and see where it gets you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.